This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google IvyPanda Free Essays.
Introduction. In every crime investigation, it is mandatory that the evidence gathered be adequate to draw the link between the suspect, the crime scene, and the victim. It is the strength of this evidence that makes the case qualifies for a trial. This report, therefore, seeks to analyze the link between the suspect, the crime scene, and the victim in the case described below. The case. This report is about a sexual assault case scenario with two victims aged 8 and 9 years, respectively. The suspect is their stepfather. The victims are present at the scene during the investigation, but the suspect is absent. The victim's mother, who is also the suspect's wife, reports the case but is not sure about the duration of the crime. The evidence triangle. Physical evidence plays a very important role in linking the suspect, the victim, and the crime scene. The evidence triangle makes use of the physical evidence collected during crime investigations to draw the linkage. There has to be a connection between all the evidence to ensure a successful ruling in the case. Crime scene. The suspect can transfer different forms of evidence to the scene of the crime during a sexual assault. In this case, it is possible to find traces of the suspect's body fluids at the scene. I suppose the act took place in the children's bedroom, hence, semen and semen-stained bed sheets can draw the linkage if the DNA proves the connection. Besides, traces of hair breakages and fingerprints can act as leading evidence to link this suspect to the crime scene. Apart from the suspect, victims can also transfer certain forms of evidence to the crime scene. In this case, the presence of bloodstains on the crime scene can prove that some force was used during the assault. This can link the victims with the crime scene. However, this line of evidence is only strong if the girls show symptoms of physical injury. Suspect. In this case, the suspect was absent during investigations. Either way, there is still enough evidence to link him with the crime scene and the victims. If the assault actually took place, then traces of his semen must be present in the body parts of the victims. His fingerprints and hair breakages must be present in the children's private body parts. There is a possibility that such elements were transferred to the victims during the assault. Other elements, like semen-stained bed sheets found in the children's bedroom, can also act as evidence enough to link him with the crime scene. Victim. In this case, the victims are present during the investigation and can provide some leading evidence. Clothes worn by the girls during the assault can be used to link them with the suspect and crime scene. The presence of the suspect's fingerprints in their underpants can link them with the suspect. Suspected semen stains may also be present in their clothes and can be analyzed further to link the victims with the suspect. Besides, the physical status of their clothes can lead to the conclusion that the suspect used force and thus acted as a link. In addition, other elements like the presence of the suspect's hair breakages and cloth fibers found on the victims can be used to link them with the suspect. Examination of the girls' bodies also provides evidence to link them to the crime scene. Things like torn clothing and vaginal examination to evaluate if the penetration took place can provide some leading evidence. This report on suspect, crime scene, and the victim evidence triangle was written and submitted by a student just like you. The IvyPanda Samples database hosts thousands of works similar to this one on various subjects. Visit ivypanda.com to find what you are looking for.